And so today we actually work with a lot of educators, service providers, and with parents and students, especially in the K-12 area. So we help them enhance academic, career, and life skills, as we stated in our mission statement. And we emphasize high quality. It's all live sessions. A lot of live sessions are conducted by Zoom, and we also support offline providers like violin coaches, piano teachers. We work them, and they conduct their lessons in their own studio. So that's the main thing we do through the academic kind of area and, talents extracurricular. We also provide college counseling, and, that's why we actually dive into why we are here. We invited financial experts because US colleges are very expensive. We mainly talk about how to save for US education. Okay, a lot of other countries, higher education is free, which is good, but we have to pay here in the States. Okay, so we have really good top college counselors, and it's full service. And all of our college counselors have English teaching background, so they're professional English teachers. They work in, they worked or are working in private high schools as college counselors. Okay, so that's one area. Courses we talk about. If your students interested in one-on-one coaching, group classes, we have different options for you. We also provide internships, and not only through our own companies. I have a couple of other companies. This one is the one Next Dream Technical Institute. We teach machine learning and computer engineering to middle school and high school students. So we have, I'm affiliated with quite a few companies. This one I'm a co-founder, Hattie, I'm a founder myself. And we try to work with other communities, leaders, startup companies in the area, around the country, around the globe, to provide internships. And right now, a lot of internships are remote, they can be done. And later on, we'll bring universities for research opportunities as well, and volunteer services. So it's more an end-to-end. The goal is we're trying to be a K-12 high quality resource platform for K-12 students and parents. We are also trying to, with all the high school interns help, we're trying to build a complete high school profiles. What does that mean? That's not replacing their website. It's basically to provide some simple questions like, should I take AP stats or difficult math class? When should I do PSAT? How important it is? Should I take this AP computer science, before I take the CS exams? So all kinds of simple FAQ questions, and some of our, it's very simple, at this school, if you take Cal AB before you take BC, so how this exam is going to play? AB or BC, or they're combined together. So it's really good one-stop shop services for the parents and for the students as well. So anyway, you guys can check out. The profile is not complete. We're trying to build up. It's going to take some time. And if your students is interested, please feel free to apply. The Hattie internships through here, just apply and send the resume. Okay. So now go back to the events. We host regular events. So I need to mute everybody for now. Let me see participants. So try to get people mute. Mute. Okay, got it. Okay, so so here we are. We are hosting regular events every few weeks. And a few weeks ago, we had a really interesting discussion about public schools and private schools, the pros and cons. We would like to host events that's more comprehensive. We don't want to promote one view over the other. We just want to give different options. So today's events are going to be really how to save for your children's college tuition, right? There are different vehicles, stock fund, and of course, you guys put money in S&P, insurance. Crypto is hot. Hopefully Jay is here, and he's an expert on crypto and as well as stock. Okay, and also insurance. Dr. Shi, leads a huge company, a huge team, work with parents on different vehicles of different types of insurance, right? And we have Wen Bo, who is a personal friend of mine, And he's an expert in real estate, especially how to invest in college towns, which is right now for us is next to UCSD. We're 5 minutes away and maybe 20 minutes away from San Diego State, which is becoming a very competitive, state school to apply for. Okay, so what we do is, if I'm gonna just leave the questions here, and you can take a look at it. I want to do one more roll call, and please turn on your camera. Dr. Shi is here. Oh my gosh, Jay. Oh, I was so worried. I know everybody wants to hear about crypto because it's so hot. Can you please turn on your camera? On the camera, I'm sorry, a microphone. We can't hear you, Jay. Okay, great. Okay, so I'm gonna have a roll call, and maybe starting with Wenbo, you join the first, and then Dr. Shi, and then Xiaoxia, and last Jay. And give you guys a minute to really quickly introduce yourself. We have the profile there, but it's different from your personal sharing. Okay, so let's go, Wenbo, and here you go.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you, Dan, and thanks, Patty, to provide this opportunity for the information sharing and discussion. My name is Wenbo. I'm a local licensed realtor in San Diego, California. I specialized the residential and as well as the investment properties. Yeah, that's pretty much for me. Yeah.
Okay, it's great. Okay, and Dr. Shi, please.
Yeah. Okay. Good evening. Yeah. Thanks for Dan Pen, for the invitation. Myself is I originally I was a PhD in physics, and later on 18 years ago I was started in the financial service industry. Currently, I'm a certified financial planner. I have an investment advisor license and insurance license, and also specialize in college planning. Okay, and so I will try to today maybe give some ideas later on in the panel discussion to make sure there's a lot of mistakes or misunderstandings in the market or in the for the parents. We want to just correct that. Okay, so glad to meet everyone.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Dr. Shi. And Xiaoxia, you're next, please.
Yes, good evening, everyone. I'm happy to be here to maybe do a little bit discussion about how to file the application for financial aid. I myself I'm from San Diego, local, and I have two kids. One is a graduate from Berkeley and Yale, who is working in San Francisco right now, and also have a junior in Del Norte High School. So I have a license in the insurance, and I have been doing the financial aid consulting for the last 3 years and helping many people to apply for the financial aid. So I'm happy to talk about that.
That's great. Yeah, for parents, I mean, doesn't matter really your income level. Majority of the people, 95% of people, will fill out the FAFSA form. Okay, so Xiaoxia will walk you guys through how to fill out, and then maybe you have questions. Am I really qualified? Do I have to put this asset in? Do I have to? Okay, so those are going to leave toward the end, okay, for 30 minutes. The whole Zoom discussion will be in English, but toward the end, if folks really want to have, speak Chinese and ask questions in Chinese, if the panel speakers have a little bit of time, and yeah, I would probably invite them to stay over just for a quick Chinese Q&A, okay? And Jay, okay, go ahead. Yeah, Jay?
Hi, thank you, Dan, for invitation. Thank Heidi for hosting this event. Good evening and good morning and to audience around the globe. My name is Jay Bian. I'm currently a hedge fund manager for equity fund as well as a crypto fund. Before that, I worked in Wall Street for about 18 years across different major investment banking firms, doing equity derivatives, trading and risk management. Currently, my focus is on crypto as well as equities. So tonight I will share my thoughts on the investment side in stock market as well as crypto.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Jay. Okay, so so with it in mind, this is talk about college saving. Okay, so it's like I need to get the money in about whatever number of years to pay for the college. So there will be other implication as well, not just growing it, there will be tax implication, this and that. So let's starting with the panel discussion, and I will be the hostess asking questions. So the first question is, of course, where should I put money? You guys will let me know. So starting with Wenbo, how do you propose? You know, if you have younger kids, right? Where would you put money? If I mean, we're talking about college education fund, 250,000 per kid. Maybe in 10 years or 15 years, going to be $500,000. If you go to school like Cornell, okay, I'm an alumni there, and right now I do recruiting for Cornell every year. It's basically 70 to 80K a year for one kid, and that's after tax. So we're talking about 320. Okay, so and I'm glad my children are going to state school. Okay, they're both at UC Berkeley, so I'm very happy. So Wenbo, go ahead.
Right, and not to forget that those numbers keep increasing, right, by the years going on. So
yes.
Yeah, so many people, like I believe everyone around us in recent past year or so has experienced like a lot of things getting more expensive, from your food to your gas to drive, right? And from any of the materials to the labor cost. So that's the inflation that's all around us, including our like educational costs is keeping increasing. So really, like this is not only for like saving money for education, it's for everything, that we cannot just hold our cash in hand. It's just the value is vanishing, right? So we got to invest. So it's not because I'm like specialized in the real estate, then I will like push through the investment in the real estate or housing. But yeah, let me share my opinion. So in regarding to the inflation, the best tools to fight against the inflation are one, the good assets. The second is the good debt. So how to understand this is like the assets is something that is a product that's with a good demand, and it's in good value, right? The money, like we all know, the government can print it from thin air, but the product or needs the cost. So a good product, a good example of them is like the houses around the good places. Of course, also includes like the share of the stocks and something valuable. So when we see like the house price or any kind of price going up, really sometimes it's not because it's getting more valuable. A lot of times it's because the money in our hands is getting like diluted, right? So yeah, we got to chase for those good quality assets like housing and other stuff. So that's one part. On the other part is the debt, right? With the good debt means the money we borrow that can bring us some more income or like produce the value. So for example, like when we buy a house and rent it out, it becomes a passive income to us, and those money we borrowed bring us more money. And on the contrast, the bad debt is something like we borrow money and just spend it out, and those debt are keeping increase with the interests, right? So what is good about investment in real estate or buying housing, rental, or like investment property is like we at the same time we get a good assets as well as we could get a good debt. So with the inflation going on, our debt is also getting diluted, and as if like we are paying less debt. And at the same time, our price or our value of the assets is going to be more valuable. So the two aspects are met at the same time. That's a good part about the real estate.
Okay, I like that. Okay, so basically for real estate, you can leverage, borrow the money to make money. Okay, very good point. Thank you, Wenbo. And Dr. Shi, I'm actually don't really understand insurance at all. So give me a few sentences introduction about why should I put my children's education in insurance?
Actually, the statement to put kids' money in insurance is not correct. Okay.
Okay.
There's a lot of insurance agent in the market always recommend parents to buy insurance for the kids for saving their college fund. Actually, I believe it's misleading. Okay. So now as a certified financial planner, I like to comment a little bit about college fund saving. Okay, so first of all, there's no universal answer which one is the best one. Okay, to save the money for your kids, because your investment portfolio is more related to the family, the time horizon, risk tolerance, tax, and the amount, and how the balance, how you balance each other. So. And also, especially for college planning, it's very depending on the kid's age. Okay, the kid's age. You are young. So I just can tell my personal story. Okay, I have two daughters. They all go to private school, college. Okay, and they all got financial aid and also save some money for them. So right now, many families, okay, can get financial aid. So this one I will not comment now. Maybe Xiaoxia maybe tell the parents how to find Fafsa, CSS, how to get maximum financial aid. But now look at assume you still need to pay by yourself, and what kind of saving or what kind of money then can be very efficient to pay the college planning or in the college financial aid application. In my own cases, I almost buy 529, and actually as a financial advisor, I do sell a lot of 529 plan to the clients. But one thing I like to clarify is 60% of 529 owned by grandparents, not parents, okay, in the United States. And 529 is more for a gifting tax saving strategy, okay, because that's why 529 can change the beneficiary and to the cousins, grandkids, okay, because if parents have 529, then you may lose your financial aid, qualification. So that's why I didn't choose 529, because I'm a business owner. If I make a lot of money, actually my daughter go to Stanford and she still get first year $41,000 financial aid, because I'm a business. I have 1099. My income is in my hand. Okay, so that is for middle income family. If your income less than $250,000, 529 maybe hurt your financial aid. Okay, but the grandparents maybe help. Okay, so this is 529, but the 529 have a very good tax benefit. All the capital gain you don't tax. But if you already have 529, there's a way to help you to still help you, because they can transfer, they can check the cost base. So if we have time, I will comment more. And now also real estate. Actually, a lot of families I find that because the real estate rental property, they do lose the financial aid. But other times, like myself, I have an office building in LLC. And because real estate income in the paper is the income, but usually they can have depreciation that is not really affecting your AGI, just gross income. So in that case, you have cash flow, but you don't affect your income. And because I have an LLC, have office building, and in 2008, the market value down, I have a reappraisal, and it cost me actually adjust my total asset value, and it turns out I qualified to stand for financial aid. So that is, if you plan well, can help you. But if you not plan well, you pay off and under your own name, and it may hurt you because it's your asset. And the school said you have an asset, you can afford to pay the tuition. So that is something maybe we can, beyond the investment, definitely real estate, I believe it's a very important portfolio and can beat inflation. Yeah. And the mutual fund, yes, you can, it's very liquidable. Only thing that disadvantage is the mutual fund is have a taxable, all the dividend, capital gain, you have to pay tax. So it's not efficient. in college planning than 529, and also counting your assets. So you may lose the financial aid. So now talk about life insurance. First of all, life insurance, most family, if you want to buy life insurance, I would say you should just buy term life and invest the difference. If your purpose is just want to buy protection, just the people, the purpose is just want to have a room to stay. You just rent an apartment. You don't need to invest or buy a house. But if your purpose is beyond the purpose is beyond protection, beyond the life insurance, that's benefit. You want a tax saving, you want the investment, you want a legal liability, you want the college financial aid maximized because insurance is not count your asset, and they will have a tax benefit, gain, you don't pay tax, and your legal issue have protect you, then you may consider differently. But never because of college, you buy life insurance, because life insurance is a bigger part of your financial planning. And it's very dependent on your income and your purpose. So, so personally, I believe myself, first of all, buy kids life insurance usually is not a good idea, because kids don't need insurance. And if they using that for the college planning, even after 18 years, it's still very limited cash value. Okay, parents maybe can buy using that, and but you still need to carefully. If you think no college planning needs, but you still like this life insurance, tax shelter, whatever, then maybe you should buy. But just because the college planning buy life insurance, it's a misleading message, I would say. Okay, so that's my comment.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Shi. Yeah, so basically what Dr. Shi is telling us, you guys write down, if you have real estate, put in LLC, okay? That's how I got it. don't put
for college planning, it helps. For college planning, it helps.
So because it's the company, and the Xiaoxia will say, hey, I don't have to report my company. So everybody go to pay $800 to California, right? So have LLC, right? So okay, that's all I got it from my ears, okay? And then the second one is the life insurance for parents, you know, mainly the term, but if you do want to use life insurance, you know, as an investment vehicle, you can do it because the life insurance doesn't count. And when you get out, it's tax-free, okay? So, and then the third thing, some of us may be grandparents or going to be grandparents here. And they say, hey, start investing for your grandchildren. Okay, so anyway, that's how I got from Dr. Shi. So, and the next one is Jay, and yours is quite interesting. So I really would like to hear your opinion about crypto and also the stock. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Dan. I think today's event is very helpful. In my view, is that the kids' education, the parents focus too much on the knowledge and the skills. Like we spend like hours on math, simple math, like add and subtraction, and then on some very stupid, not very stupid, but very repetitive, simple skill sets like this, which we will not, your kids will not need in the future because you use calculator, right? So the education focus on we started earlier from the finance, because the college cost is rising, and it's a huge amount of burden. Even by the United States, most adults are in the student loan debt. They cannot repay because it's enormous amount of financial burden. Even though your knowledge and skill set are good, but you have a lot of financial burden on your shoulder. Basically, you don't really have a reasonably good life later on. Even though you have good degrees, you went to good college, you have good jobs. So I think that today's, I think my view is that education starts from math, English, as well as finance. Not only on the money, put in whatever real estate, insurance, stock market, crypto, but education of the kids to understand what's investment, what's stock, what's crypto. I think I give you an example. I have two daughters. My older one is 9 years old. I'm already educated her about what's stock market, what's crypto. So because I'm a hedge fund manager, so I trade a lot of stocks. So sometimes I'm just telling my kids, you know, like McDonald's, we go to McDonald's. Yeah, you like the food. There's a stock. I just told my kids there's a stock McDonald's, and what's the ticker is traded in New York Stock Exchange. And then she did ask me to show the stock chart, and then I can give her some sort of education, like say long-term trend is up or down. If you look at if you look back 3 years, 5, 10 years, the stock is going up. So that's a good investment. So looking around yourself, you know, there's tons of places like Chipotle. If you go to you know, Chipotle, go to the other day we went to Costco, and then my daughter asked me if there's a stock Costco. It did. There is a stock Costco wholesale. So, and also because I spend a lot of time on crypto, so my daughter sometimes stop by to look at what I'm doing. So I'm just telling, I'm just give her a few minutes, explain what's Bitcoin, what's Ethereum, and she has interest. She like mining, you know, because there's a game, Minecraft, like the play game. So she understands mining. That's a very important concept. So my view is we should not only just look at the investment, but also education, financial education, investment education, trying to educate your kids from very early, very young age about investment. That's my view.
That's good. So maybe we can invite you to start a group course and for children.
Yeah, possible. Later on, yes. Maybe introduction to crypto, maybe introduction to stock market. Yes, but from early on, you know, from very young age.
Yes, that will be great. But often I find out we have a lot of courses that they're really essential. The leaderships, even making video production. I think those are great classes. Those are really you know, fundamental skills. But parents tend to focus on the APs and you know, because the schools are pushing them. So that we'll see if we can talk offline, that we can open a class. I'm very interested in crypto. So anyway, this is a really good point. But can you let us know if we give you the money, so your hedge fund, do you think it's good to put the money in your fund for my kids' education, for Wenpo's kids' education?
Here, I'm not selling my fund. There's no point. You're not going to invest the fund for your kids' education in my fund. That does not make sense because it requires a large amount of investment. There's a minimum requirement. I don't think it's appropriate for most family here. But what I'm trying to telling people is that the things with crypto as well as stock market is that you can start at a very low number. It does not matter. For example, let's say your kid every month, let's say she has like $100, just $100 US dollar allowance to, you know, buy toys or whatever. You can tell your kid, save $50 and then buy Bitcoin or buy Ethereum. It does not matter. Only $50, that's fine. It does not matter. Every month you buy $50 crypto, it adds up. It adds up. I can show you calculations. If you consistently buy in 10 years, your kids will be a millionaire before college. So she does not need to go to college, become a millionaire or even more. So so that's the advantage of it's the same as stock market investment. It's the same. You don't have to buy 100 shares of Apple, Amazon. It does not. You do buy one share Apple, just buy one share of Motorola, or sorry, Applied Materials, some semiconductor stocks. So the keys are you have to start early and education along with your kids.
Okay, that's good. Okay, well, in that way, guys, if you have younger kids, go open Robinhood, okay? Robinhood can allow you to buy half of, you know, a piece of the crypto of Ethereum and Bitcoin. Okay, so now I'm advertising for Robin.
That's
So-
what I'm
Bitcoin
gonna
is,
say too.
sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, Dan. Bitcoin is 60,000, so half is 30,000. Forget about it. Point zero 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 one Bitcoin. You can buy $5 Bitcoin. If you don't have money, just $5. But if you every day, if you buy $5, if you save money, do not waste money on the toys. $5 adds up. It adds up. I can show you some calculations later. But it's an interesting education and investment. So
yeah. Okay. So that's really good. So that's that. Thank you, Jay. And so you are telling our parents, don't waste money on toys. Put that toy money.
half. If you want to spend $50 on the toy, $25 on the toy, $25 investment in Bitcoin, Ethereum, $25. No more. That's it. But then consistently, if you every time you spend, if you plan $50 on the toys, $25 on the Bitcoin, on the crypto, $25 on toy, it's the same. Whatever your kids' education, if you want to spend like $1,000 on kids' education on whatever after school program or classes, cut half, and then the half put investment in the stock market, crypto, or whatever real estate or what insurance or whatever product. So the key is that do not waste the money on just on education, because you can easily spend thousands of dollars on kids for swimming, right? For piano class, piano every year you at least spend, you calculate 5,000 or even more private lessons. How many lessons you take? You calculate half investment, half. Then once your kids get to the college, forget about Harvard, Princeton, forget about it. Those graduates, many of them might not have a good job. I'm telling you. People not going to the elite school, as long as you're street smart, you at least financially you will be very successful, very successful financially. That's I think that most people ignore this. Most people just focus on knowledge and skill set, go to Harvard, Princeton, Yale, whatever. But if you check it, then Harvard graduate can still earn 35,000 a year. Or it's not uncommon. So
yeah, that's very interesting, Jay. Thank you for your fresh view. Love it. That's why we have a panel. Okay, that's great. So just to add, I'm not a panel, but I want to add this to my children's experience. Okay, so we both are going to Berkeley, their state school, and I'm not trying to promoting for CS, but they are studying CS. And the older one has a really good internship at startup. And with his internship, tech internship, he builds pretty much the entire back end for a startup company. Pretty much that's all covered, then cover his tuition. Of course, I'm paying for his tuition right now, it's a state tuition. And he's investing the money that he has made from the startup. But if I were not paying it, he used his internship, can pay for it. So there's the other side of skill set. Yeah, he doesn't really have good skill set. He pretty much can support his college for himself, right? So that's one thing. And the second thing is my younger kid just got into Berkeley, and he basically is on the academic staff now, ready to be a TA. He took a summer school at Berkeley. So next spring, he can be a TA. Once he's a TA, they're paying him a good like $30 wage, which 20 hours work. So 20 hours time, is $30, is $600 a week, $2,400. That's covered the Berkeley in-state tuition. So in this way, their skill sets are paying their own tuition. So I just want to look at a different way. I agree with Jay, and we are all on the same page. I'm really not like bigger proponent of just the name for elite, but I think if you get a good skill set at good college, it really pays off as well. That's my children's experience. The other thing is about APs. Yeah, I really was down to AP. I'm not really like promoting everybody learning AP, but I find out for the state schools like Berkeley, if you do take a lot of APs, basically my son entered Berkeley in the back end, the College Central back end. He's qualified as a junior because all his classes are taken care of in high school. And what does that mean? That he can graduate within a year and a half or 2 years. So that saved the college tuition as well. So I just want to give you guys a different perspectives, okay, for the college, from college tuition point of view. Okay, that's very good. So now going back to saving, I think, when should we start? Should we start even before the kid is conceived? I have friends that starting. When should we start saving? When born, buy a house?
As soon as possible, I would say. So because investment in any sort of forms, real estate, stock, crypto, they are a long-term run, right? There's no way that you can buy something today and become millionaire or billionaire tomorrow. So the way is long. You got to start early. And also like yeah, I agree very much about Jay's opinion. It's all about the education itself also. So not only like before your college, even like during the college, I would say the real estate is if you buy a investment house near the college town and rent out to your kids, and your kids sublease it to his classmates or something, it's kind of a life education on the finance of the ownership, the management, and the leadership itself, right? So think about it. If your kids is like renting a apartment, he's really like not having the ownership as he's feeling like at home, right? And he's not taking that good care of the apartment, his roommates, etc. But at the other hand, if you tell him that this is his or her home now, and he owns it, and he has the ownership as the home, and also like you start to let him to manage the sublease. If you have extra room to his or her roommates, then he learn how to manage this property, and also he has to take the leadership. So I think all of these kind of things, beyond the financial benefits, I think that part, I believe everybody, or like most of the people, has some idea about it. I think it's important, but since time is limited, I don't need to like repeat that. But the kind of this kind of life education is even priceless.
Okay, that's good. So one boy is saying, hey, you guys buy a condo next to UCSD. If your kids go to UCSD, have your kids become landlord and manage, rent out to their friends and manage that way. Okay, that's very good, very good.
Yeah,
okay.
I think that way your kids gonna learn more about the financial before he graduated, and would have like a better chance to financial success, as what Jay has mentioned also before.
Okay. I think I know UCSD is already very expensive. Forget about Berkeley or next to Stanford, right? So, but anyway, very good point. Okay, so so next kind of question is, how much is enough? So around the kids' education, Dr. Shi, how much should I save?
Yeah. Okay, so I would say for the people, for the parents' income below $250,000, actually you do have a bigger chance to get a financial aid. Okay, especially go to a private school. Actually, if you go to private school, you pay less. My own situation, if my daughter go to Berkeley, we have to pay almost $30,000 a year for all the tuition, living expenses. But because go to Stanford, and we only pay like $24,000, because the private school, they give more endowment fund, all these scholarship. A public school may give only government, state limited the scholarship. So in that sense, anyone Your income less than $250,000, definitely planning get your financial aid is the most important one. That one I know Xiaoxia may cover in the last 30 minutes. And 80% of families, they filed in the Fafsa made mistakes and they lost it. So we check the client, average client, they can get $20,000 more financial aid if they can qualify, okay? So that is why it's very important to get financial aid. But if your income more than 400K, usually it's very hard for you, okay? And so it's hard for you to get financial aid. But in that case, like I'm living in Silicon Valley, in that case, most families, they are major financial planning purpose is saving the tax. Because the college, like college planning, I started my kids like 8 and 5, started saving the money and planning for them. They saved me like $300,000 tuitions and fees. But during the process, last 18 years, because I learned how to do the financial planning, I saved almost $2 million tax. That's why for the high income families, high net worth families, the tax saving may be much, much bigger than 10 times, could be 10 times bigger in many cases than the college expenses. So you may focus that right way, okay? And also a lot of parents, I find they always sacrifice retirement, sacrifice other lifestyle, you know, in order to support the kid to the college. That may be not the right way. Okay, so especially Asian families, they are put too much high priority for pay the kids all the expenses, you know, and sacrifice their retirement. And that one, usually for college planning, we are not just do college planning, we have to do their overall retirement planning or even overall investment planning together. So again, my message is college planning is only part of your financial planning. And you should have a real expert to help you in the whole financial planning side. And the investment vehicle, real estate, mutual fund, 529, creditable, you know, any investment is just part of the portfolio. Okay, it's hard for us to say which one is important. It's more like how you play the game. You need the attacker, defender, and the gatekeeper. You know, that's how we play the whole game. You know, so that's my message. All right, hopefully help.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, Dr. Shi, thank you. So Jay, I have one question for you. Sounds like there are probably some high income earners here. So I know I was in your group. Your group is really good, the WeChat group. I just don't have time, so I left it because every time I see it, I want to see the information because it's great information. I have to work, okay, to support my staff. So I left it. It's a great, interesting group. So I want to find out, like, what's the minimum? Do you take individual money? What's the minimum to join your fund? And if as a parent, what is your average return? If you want to share, you don't have to. And if I have a little kid, why shouldn't I put money in yours if your growth is so good? And then when I need to pay for the children's education, I take it out, or should I use an LLC to invest in yours? Can you just give us a little bit of a highlights, because we haven't really touched what your vehicle is here. So I want to really know the details here.
Okay, thank you, Dan. The crypto fund is I just started this year. Because unfortunately we started at almost the peak in May. Open because crypto fund was very difficult to set up. It took a few months to everything, got the paperwork, get all this money wild. So Tiger crypto right now is still, because the market up and down, so was slightly down, even though it rebounded. We know that the crypto crashed because the Chinese ban, but then it rebounded. But over the long run, we are talking to our investors are long-term holders. So in my view, the crypto investment, the whole industry should grow 30 to 50% annual growth rate for the next 5 to 10 years. So that
annual, you're talking about annual,
yes,
30 to 50%.
Yes, for the next 5 to 10 years. That's my view. That's my view.
Okay.
So for you to if you think about the long term, for the kids' education purposes, for long-term investment. So you ignore the short-term fluctuations. You think about the long-term horizon, and then that. So it's an area that you cannot ignore. You cannot afford to ignore. Okay. Our fund is minimum is 100K for the crypto, 100K. On the equity side, on the option side, I'm also running an option fund, equity option fund. So we are a year about 12 to 15% a year, 12 to 15 net, 12 to 15% a year net. I have been running for about a year and a half. So overall, it's about 20% plus. It was not like a very high. Because the hedge fund, our objective is be conservative and then grow at a reasonably growth rate, the return. So we're not as high as like a Tesla stock or some like ARKK fund, because they are long only, but there's volatility. So we on the equity side, so it's a little bit more conservative. We're targeting 12 to 20% annual return. So that's what's the other question? Sorry, did I miss something?
Yeah, I mean, as a parent, if I put the money in and the grow, I can take it out and just pay the tax, and I can pay for the kids, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But can I use an LLC? Sounds like Dr. Zhong is telling us, hey, put the money in LLC, don't put it under your own name. Can I create an LLC and open an account with you?
Yes. You can do LLC. Yes, that's perfect. You can do that. We accept corporate. Another thing that I think if you just for kids' education purpose, if you invest, I think it's better use kids. First, you create a bank account for your kids. I think as early as like 5 or even younger age.
Wow.
They have created their own bank account and then open PayPal account, open stock like a Robinhood stock market account, crypto account in her name, and then only buy, do not sell, because these kids, they can hold 30 years, 40 years, just buy crypto, just buy it, never sell, never sell, don't even ignore it. Just completely ignore the market, just every day, just every month, just buy, just put there, and then if you want to diversify into stock or something, just buy, and then just hold 20 or 30 years, and then once your kids finish college, then that's tremendous amount of and you don't have to pay tax, because no capital gain tax. Just okay. Financially, I think that you're very successful, very successful.
Okay, so you're a big believer in
yes.
Okay. Yeah, I know you're a big believer in crypto. Is there any particular one we should buy, or you can buy all kinds of stuff?
It's the same as a stock investment, because you cannot just buy one stock, right? There are all kinds of Apple, Google, Microsoft, Amazon. So like in the crypto, it's the same. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and this is the two major ones. And then there's other Polkadot, Cardano. So you still have a portfolio. You still need a portfolio, like focus on like 10 to 15 names, top names. It's same as a stock. It's same. You just focus on the big growth stories.
Okay, that's good. Okay, thank you, Jay. Thanks for sharing. Okay, so we'll open up questions before we go to Fafsa. Not everybody's interested in filling out the form. Any questions from the floor to all the panel speakers? And if you want to ask Chinese, I think it would be fine, unless somebody is really object and they can't really understand Chinese. So go ahead, any questions? You can type or ask. No questions?
Oh,
No.
I have a quick, sorry. Yeah, I have a quick one about crypto. Yeah, everybody has their belief, based on their background, their, years of, their character or whatever, knowledge. But I'm just coming to a common sense. How can you have okay, how can you have a currency like Bitcoin, that's oscillating, the value oscillating so much can, go half in a month as a currency? I just don't get that. I mean, how, you have some, imagine your green dollar in your pocket go down value and half in 1 month. Would you like that? I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. So can you see what's your view on that?
That's a very good question. That's a very good question. Let me explain this, okay? US dollar is a currency, right? US dollar is a currency. Is that correct? US dollar is currency. 1 year ago, you go to supermarket, you buy chicken. I think chicken wing. My wife told me, okay, I never pay attention to prices. Okay, I have to be honest. My wife paid, it's zeroing on the price. Okay, how much chicken wing the pound? Last year, she told me chicken wing for 1 year, the price jumped by 30–40%. So in terms of chicken wing, US dollar crashed by 30–40%. Okay, do you understand? Do you get it? So you're saying in US dollar, so the crypto crashed 30–40–50%. Sorry, my thought is coming. So every currency depreciate if there's no control on supply. Bitcoin, on the good part, the supply is fixed. The only thing is the demand and supply, the fluctuation. You treat Bitcoin as a commodity, as like a gold, digital gold, as well as oil. So the gold price fluctuates because of demand and supply. So but over the long run, look at the back 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, over the long run. If you believe in a digital world, we need a digital currency, then Bitcoin and crypto is the way to go.
Okay, that's really good. Yeah, I think some of us study Bitcoin, like, Jay. I don't have time, but I have friends that it's believing in it or not believing it. Right? Jay, if you believe in it, you put it in. If you don't believe in it, don't put it in.
For the thing is that for kids' education, as I said, you cannot afford to lose the opportunity. It does not matter. If Bitcoin crypto crashed, it does not matter. As I said, the example, you spend $50 on the kids' toy or education, cut half, and then spend the half on the investment, whatever investment, and then you only put another half in crypto. Okay, so if crypto completely gone, does not matter. You don't lose a lot. But if it's a gain, then you lose the opportunity. It's the same as Amazon, Google in 2000. You don't need to put you do not need to bet your house on crypto. It's the same as you do not bet your house on Amazon in 2000. Actually, if you bet your house on Amazon in 2000, then you're a billionaire or millionaire, a multi-billionaire right now. But my saying is that investment is never bet your house. Nobody bet your house on something. You just put $50. That's it. Every month. Let's see how the game plays. If you don't believe it, you just put $50 every month for 2 years. 2 years later, if the investment is gone, then you forget about it. You stop investment. But if the investment is making money, is growing, then you just keep doing it. It's a game. It's just a game. You just play the game.
Yay. Okay, that's good. Yeah. So Jay, maybe offline I can work with you. Maybe not just for children. All our classes right now, we do have adults taking our speed reading classes. More adults are joining us. It's an educational platform. Maybe I can work with you, and you charge whatever the reasonable fee that our group classes usually for the kids is $40 an hour, up to 8 students. Maybe you can launch a class with us, and kids can join, adults can join, whatever you define the audience, right? Your students. And we have a very simple way to say this is a 16 classes for reading. It's already started. and then all the booking, everything's automated. Okay, so just let you know that we have the vehicle and all of the financial planners. We can work together to launch a class together. Okay, for children or for the adults, because we do have parents education as well. Like here, we're educating parents. The same thing for like we invited the top doctors and to share how to parent teenagers, right? Okay. So this is good because it's a big topic on the crypto side. I do have a lot of questions myself as well. Okay, so that's good. Thank you for, I think we have some non-Chinese speakers as a participant, so we'll keep as in English. Any other questions for the panel speakers before we go to the financial forum? Any other questions?
Dada, I saw one question in the chat. Yeah, talk about 529. I would say 529 school consider it as a countable asset. Later on, Xiaoxia maybe explain to how to file the Fafsa, CSS, how to report these assets. The 529 school, like two students, A and B, they are same situation, same financial, academic, but one have 529, one don't have 529. And the school will prefer to give the financial aid to the students who don't have 529 because they believe you already saved the money for the kids. Okay, the parents already saved the money for the kids, so that's why they effect their financial aid. They have some formula there. Okay, and for disclaimer purpose, okay, I really appreciate Dan Dan to invite all different experts to this panel. Okay, but I don't want to give people impression is. Myself is a certified financial planner. Okay, my view of the crypto Bitcoin still as a speculative investment. Okay, so I just my personal view. Okay, and I respect Jay. I just like the audience know it's not I'm here as a CFP certified financial planner also support this kind of. My personal belief is normal family, even you don't should trading stocks. Okay, even you should not just pay all these rental. Best way is still the index funds. Okay, low cost, no cost, or these are my personal belief. For people don't have time, as we said, there are different type of investors. And only specialists can go to these areas. They are very focused. You can go to the real estate. You can go to the crypto, and or some stocks. The normal family. The best way, my personal, okay, I don't offense anyone, I just give the more balanced view, is more for the financial planning and like a no cost, low cost index fund investment and for long term, okay? And but you can still put some small portion of the money in more speculative or any other alternative investments. That's good. But for the people have high assets, definitely you can try. Okay, no problem for that. Just the percentage wise, how much percentage you should put in the passive or active money management. All right.
Okay, that's good. Okay, any more questions before we go to the financial forum? Any questions? Okay, that's good. So Xiaoxia, I'm gonna stop share and go ahead and you can share. And the panel speakers, you're more than welcome to just hang out here. But if you really have to go, like Jay is in New York, feel free to leave as well. You guys can just to everybody, if you want to leave your WeChat ID or your phone number, whatever group, something, feel free. Okay, you can just chat to everybody. It's up to you. It's not a requirement, but it's up to you. Yeah. Some people may want to chat with you a little bit, privately about your real estate or your crypto fund or insurance planning. Okay, Xiaoxia, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna start sharing my screen just for a few slides. Okay, can everybody see it?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So I will put in the slideshow mode. Okay, thank you. As I said, I'm honored to be able to talk about the financial aid filing. I think some of here, maybe most of the parents of seniors that are going to the college next year. So 2023, 2023. So now is the time to file the financial aid application. And then today we'll talk a little bit about the filing, the application form, and also explain a little bit about what's behind it. So you understand why they're asking those questions and how you can, you know, if there's anything you can do, maybe you could still do something about it. And so we'll start with the Fafsa. I think most people know Fafsa is applying for financial aid. So it's short for free application for federal student aid. So it is a student aid that is for the public, for the government, for the state or federal, and some institutions also use Fafsa to decide the eligibility for the financial aid. And that's most common when people, you know, mention Fafsa, then that's what it referred to, the government free application for the student aid. But on the other side, there's also another form which is called CSS. It is the College Scholarship Service Profile that is by the College Board. Sorry, okay. So it is mostly for private colleges, and it's only required by the private. So depending on which school you go, then it will specify if you need to file CSS profile. Otherwise, the Fafsa will be sufficient. And the Fafsa filing starts. Now you can go and look into the application, but the institutions, you know, will start accepting application from October 1st. So now we are October 28th. It's already starting the accepting application, and the application, you know, go over all the way to next year. But some of the funds, some of the grants are first come, first serve. So we will encourage parents not to delay too long. You should definitely start looking, study it, and then start putting all the information together, and at least, you know, go to Fafsa site, that is the government site, and you need an established account, a children's account, student account, and a parent account. So that's the basic. You first go to the website to establish your account and then prepare. So how to prepare, then we will help explain a little bit. We said the Fafsa for the public, it's free, so there's no cost. You can apply as many schools as you can. And the fund available is from federal, like Pell Grants. For California is Cal, and then some of the private schools also based on the Fafsa. And it is, oh, sorry, I think I messed up here. That sorry, I think it was before was I switched aside. So the Fafsa is administered by Department of Education, and the CSS profile is administered by College Board. So I had a little bit switch there. Sorry. But for the CSS, it's for the private college, and you need to pay for just for the applications $25, and first college is included. But then every additional college you have to pay. And then if for you know, divorced families, you have two houses, then there's a custodial household and there's a non-custodial household. So CS is more expensive, and it's only required by the college that you are applying. So you not necessarily have to file CSS. But people will ask, you know, do I have to file if you know, Fafsa? or what income or what asset, you know, under what that I need to. What we will recommend is, since it's free, you should file, because if you don't file, you have no way to get any financial aid. But if you file and you don't get it, at least you have gone through the process. Maybe for the, you know, one child didn't have, like myself, my daughter, when she was going to college, we were not qualified, but things changed. I think my son, it comes around that I should be able to do some application, should be qualified for some financial aid. So that's the part, deciding if you should file and where to go. So now I'm trying to understand what is behind that Fafsa, why are we filing it, right? We all know we're trying to get some financial aid. So in the financial aid calculation, first we have to know of attendance, and that is determined by the college which your kids are applying, and not just the tuition. You have room and board and book supplies, and even if they also count as loan and transportation, miscellaneous expenses. So overall, the school every year will update a cost of attendance, and that is every school's website. You could readily find it. So financial aid is the cost of attendance minus the EFC. So we're going to explain a little bit more about the EFC. It is the expected family contribution. So here's the biggest secret, right? We talk about 529, or we talk about different investment vehicles. So how, basically from the word you can expect it. So governments or the institutions expect your family to pay, to contribute. Sorry, maybe I should, can you mute if you're not talking?
Yeah, yeah, you can mute all, then you resume. You can mute all of them, okay? Thank you.
Okay.
Control.
All right. Okay, so am I mute myself also? No, I'm good, okay. So the expected family contribution, it's like 4 boxes. One is parents. So parent has income and parent has assets. Depending on your family size and even the age, your family, you know, the oldest age, and how many kids or how many kids in college. So the formula is a little bit complicated. I can put that formula, you know, a file on here later on, you want to study it. So it's between 2 to 47% of the adjusted gross income. There's also protected amount. In other words, there's allowance for family. So that's the percentage they use to calculate how much your income should go into this education fund. And then the asset. So we'll talk a little bit more about asset categories. Asset, parent assets is 5.64%. So if your parent have assets, say in the bank account, 100,000, then $5,640 will determine to go to your family contribution, and that's for each year. So that's why the asset category important, and that's a parent. Now we look at the students. So Jay just mentioned that we should have the kids from maybe, you know, just born, you can start saving money. So here it is, the students, I know my son's friends already working, so they are making incomes. And so there's allowance, it's $6,970. If they earn less than that, then it's not counted, okay? But if they earn more than that, 50% of their income will count towards the tuition. And then if they have assets, the asset is under their name. You know, bank accounts, brokerage accounts, you know, even you co-signed, but if their name there, right? Or some people even buy houses. You know, some parents said, okay, I want to leave a house to my kid, and they put the kid's name on the house, and that's kids' asset. So 20% of the assets of children's assets every year will go into their college contribution. So now you see for parents it's 5.64, but for the children it's 20%. So that's why we say, be careful where you put your money, right? And then Dr. Shi just mentioned the grandparents, although 529 is, you know, for education, but if it's grandparents own it, it's grandparents contributed into that 529 plan, then it's not counted as the children's, as the kids' tuition. Okay, and then we'll go look at the little bit more in detail about the category, the assets type. This is mostly in the, okay, let me go back to just a little explain. The income, so as for the parents' income, they use your tax return. So 1040 tax return and also your W-2, those determine your income. Since this year, you're filing October 1st, right? The tax return available is only 2020, the 2021 not yet filed. So when it comes to income, it's prior year. So if your kids going to college 2020, it's the income of 2020 counts towards this contribution. So if your kids already senior and ready to apply for college, going to college in 2022, you are too late to plan your income. Some people say, okay, I quit my job so that I don't have that much income. Sorry, you are too late for seniors, okay? The tax already filed, so you don't have that much room to do anything about it. So today I'm kind of just talking to the seniors. And for the seniors, the only thing you can maybe do something is about assets. For the kids younger than senior, you have junior or even younger, you know, some people even say you haven't born or just born, then you can plan early, okay, to decide your career or whatever. So for the people whose kids are going to college next year, we mainly right now just talking about assets, okay? We can talk a little bit more for the younger kids, or you have questions, we can talk that. So this is the asset, parent assets in the EFC calculations. The countable asset, it is the 5.64%, right? If you have cash, you know, savings, checkings, you know, CDs, any bank account that is countable. And then if you have the investment, being maybe mutual fund or stock options, anything in investment, that will count towards this calculation. And if parents owned 529, then it's 5.64%. Now, if the 529 is on the kids, then it will be 20%. Do you remember? I said it was 20% of kids' asset. So this is parents' 529. It's 5.64%. And if you have done before, I think we did as education IRA for children, that's also parents' asset, but it's in kids' benefit. And then real estate. This real estate is not what you living. It's not your primary residence, especially for in-state or for the public financial aid, government or state. Your own residence does not count as real estate. but it's the investment properties. Under your name, then it's your asset. If under kid's name, then it's kid's asset. And then if you have business, or there's some qualifications. Okay, business a little bit complicated. What is counted? What is not counted? So those are the general concept was counted. And now we look at the non-countable assets. We know that the government said the retirement account we all have, like 401k, you have IRA, you have SEP, like the self-employed, or you have nonprofits. So those are the retirement accounts that is not counted. And then Dr. Zong, you know, some people also think that life insurance is not the cash value in the life insurance is not countable. And then there's another one is long-term care, because before we didn't have that, but now we have a lot of asset-based long-term care policy that you have, you know, quite a sum of money you set aside for your long-term care. So these are qualified, all government tax code qualified, approved account. And then your annuity, it is a qualified annuity. In other words, it's the money for retirement, not paid tax yet. Okay, so annuity. And then you have a HSA, is a health saving account. So you have for the high deductible health insurance. A lot of companies now adopted the health saving account, and that does not count as your asset. So this is a very general category, what's counted, what's not counted. But in particularly, you know, individual cases, we have to look in, you know, in each cases, because like in real estate investment, you could do as a business. So I'm not giving any specific and individual advice. This is all very general educational purpose. And we do the financial aid consultation, and today we'll give everyone here a free consultation, one-on-one consultation, if you like, to help you file the application for the financial aid. So I think my presentation is simple as this, and then you can ask questions. If I can, maybe Dr. Su can help me answer, okay?
Maybe I add on some comment here, Dan, yeah, before. So Xiaoxiao mentioned all these Fafsa filing. As I mentioned, 80% of parents will make mistakes and lose average $20,000 a year financial aid. And of course, there's a lot of things in the asset allocation. And it's not just for college planning. It's really, you should consider total picture about your retirement, your financial planning. So anything, if any advisor recommended you something can get financial aid, but actually it's hurt your overall picture. Someone maybe recommend some whole life policy or some kind of long-term investment you cannot liquidable, maybe hurt you, or some risk there, maybe lost the principal. So that's why I always say the college planning is just part of the financial planning. Unless you do some asset allocation, even not for college planning, it still benefit your family for retirement, for tax, for investment, for return, and then you should consider that. Okay, and here a lot of things is the detail like a real estate. Could be if you arrange a will, it can help you. And also like some life insurance, you have to be very careful what kind of life insurance. Some life insurance helping you. Some life insurance may get financial aid but may not give you any growth. Or some like a long-term care policy, they can very shorten. In 2 years, you can surrender and without loss. You just use it as a shelter for asset. But some long-term care policy is really good for your long-term holding. So there's a lot of things you have to consider. And also some private school, they may have a different treatment like a private house. Public school don't count, but a private school, some school do count. And we also have like a 2,000 scholarships. Sometimes people not qualified, but we have a database can help you search some scholarships. So of course, for the Fafsa is for senior year, and you missed it, then every year they maybe should file again, because the school usually give every year have a chance. But some schools give you 4 years, okay, financial aid, and as long as it changes. And also you can do planning early. So Xiaoxia mentioned some free consultation. You just contact Xiaoxia if you really need some help, urgent or long term, and Xiaoxia will help you to make appointment. We do provide a 1 hour free consultation. Yeah, how to save in your get your maximum financial aid, how you allocate the assets. All right, thank you, Dan. Yeah, then go back to you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you, Xiaoxia. Thank you, Dr. Shi. I think one thing Dr. Shi mentioned, some private schools, a lot of private schools actually have more money to give away than public schools. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I personally testify myself. I went to public school first. I went to University of Michigan. I did not get enough money. I had to transfer to Cornell, and Cornell gave me free ride. What does that mean? It's a fellowship. I even did not have to do TA or RA, just a free ride because they had money. So there is definitely a, pros and cons. Of course, for us in-state, UC is so good, but I completely am behind Dr. Shi that probably your kid or one of you said your kid go to Berkeley, you have to pay more than for a private school, because I was at Princeton. And Princeton said, if you guys making 250, even 300,000, you can get financial aid.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is some myth that people think if I'm making $200,000, no way I can qualify. Or people say, oh, public school is cheaper, I should go to public school. But in private school, they have more money, and then as an endowment fund, they are obligated to spend that money. So it depends really what your kids, the major they want, and don't let the finance be the reason they're not going to private school.
Yeah. I actually was helping an international student talking about scholarship now, that she got 3 scholarships as an international student, undergraduate, from private schools. And one of them was half off. So US schools, especially private schools, are very generous with financial aid and the scholarships. So this is good to know that this vehicle is available to majority of the families. And on each school, if you go there, you can do a financial aid calculator. You can put your income. It's a general calculator, but I think this is when by the time you're a senior, it's a little bit too late, because your tax form is done, okay? Yeah. And we have quite a few seniors going through from Hattie, and some of them said, oh, my last year's tax income is done, tax return. So I do agree that just like all of you guys said, real estate, Bitcoin, doesn't really matter. And 529, whatever saving has to be planned a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
And consult experts earlier. So I agree with you. Okay, that's very good. Any other questions from the audience regarding the FAFSA?
Yes. Any questions?
Any questions? No questions at all? All good? You guys all know how to fill the form?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, so basically, if you're a senior, you guys are going through it, apply for FAFSA, okay? Unless you absolutely think that's not possible, you guys are making too much money, okay? Or you didn't really plan early, everything's under your own name, okay? And the second takeaway, we just said, plan earlier, okay? Oh, Qing has a question. Qing, go ahead.
我可以用中文问题吗？
Yeah, I think it's fine. Yeah, 你问。
我就想问一下，就是现在孩子的那个学校清单还没有列好，因为在填那个FAFSA表格的时候，他要填学校。那我要是现在不填学校，或者是先暂时填了以后要变，这样可以吗？
可以变，你可以 update， 但最好你还是要填几个学校，比如说 UC 的你要填掉，因为否则他送不到那个 information 送到那边去。那
我要是等学校清单 就是列完之后再填的？就是说交表格大概什么时间比较好？会不会再往后？
一般是，除非你是 early admission， 否则的话，你Fafsa可以到那个你申请季，比如说正常 regular 的话是在年底嘛，那你到1月1号、1月2号的时候送过去也可以的Fafsa。对，
那就是晚一点哈，到10月以后也是
对，
来得及。
最好是把学校已经定了，因为否则的话开嘛，因为你学校定了，基本上我们一般都是在年底之前，然后 early 的话一般都是一些 private school， 那它有那个 early 的 CSS， 那这个就要少一点。这个呢，到时候你可以再增加，因为 CSS 是每个学校你可以再增加上去的。但是Fafsa一般都是 universal， 大家都看这个Fafsa，一般就是等学校差不多定了，稍微有1-2个改还可以。一般是到了年初一过 January 就送过去，因为有些学校 state 的一些 scholarship， 像 California Grant 是很容易申请到的。当然这个收入，如果特别是收入，有些新移民啊，有些什么收入他可能没到10万块钱的话，很容易申请到。只要你 3.0， 只要是加州的学校，然后你那个收入不超过，他就给12000块钱，但这个钱就是申请光为止。那你如果说太晚的话，你如果到3月份再送，可能已经满了。但是1月份的话，一般还 OK， 大部分学生都是在1月份就送。然后呢，刚才讲的那个丹丹也讲了，实际上这个 planning 更重要。等你 calculate 知道的时候已经 too late 了，所以一般是提前几年就开始。像我的话，小孩子8岁5岁的时候，我们就看他准备是做哪些事情来做，然后能够拿到 financial aid。因为有些东西像 529， 如果你买了，到时候你再把它 cancel， 那你就 penalty 了。那你或者要转到其他小孩子名下，所以这些事情可能要早点做。至少我是很鼓励大家，如果你可以跟小霞约一个，然后我们可以的话，一个 free con， 就是说在你们家的情况下，一般是做哪几样事情 maximize， 好吧
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, 还有一个问题. There's another question. I think everybody speaks Chinese now. If you don't understand it, just say, hey, sorry, English, please. Okay. I just want to be respectful. Okay. 我觉得还有一个问题就是你们填表格不用担心说，因为大家有个 miss 认为是 low income 的人，就是 low income 的学生会比较容易进大学。你填 Fafsa has nothing to do with the final decision.
Yeah.
这两个 track 是分开的。所以如果你即使20万、30万的 income， 特别是申请 private school， I would encourage you to apply。不用担心说我申请了，我可能拿不到奖学金，merit based 的或拿不到 admission， that's completely different， 对吧 ，Dr. Shi？
对，它是完全那个 admission 是 brand， 因为实际上是而且学校不改，他万一那个 policy 里面说，哎，你付不出学费，我们就不录取你。那这个成为一个 major 的很大的一个 scandal 了，然后他们会有 penalty， 这个不行。反正 top 的这个100个学校，基本上我们从来没发现过这个情况。但是也有可能个别有些商业性的学校根本就完全是靠学费来赚的，他就也不想录取你，这个有可能有发生这种情况，但这种基本上都是三流，就是说不是那种 top 那个100个学校里面，基本上我们看到 UC 系统所有的 private school 基本上都是不会影响的。从来不会因为你申请 financial aid 了就影响。
Yeah. So Fafsa 还是尽量就是去填。Okay. This is good. Okay. Any other questions? 还有，请问。
对，我们今天没有讲那个 income， 就是因为主要是对 senior 嘛。但是对你孩子还小的话，其实也是在 income， 你也是可以有些东西可以考虑，就是说 instead of not W2, maybe there's some other ways to plan for the college financial aid.
Yeah. Okay. I see Qing Han. Qing, I have a question actually for Wenbo. Wenbo, are you still there? Oh, Wenbo left probably. Okay, I was going to ask, but that's okay. Qing, yeah, question.
我有第二个问题是关于那个贷款的问题，就是不是房屋的贷款，就比如说像汽车贷款，算不算负债？是不是要从那个资产里面减掉这些钱？
汽车呢，因为它是汽车的 value 也不算在你那边，所以它可能就不一定。但是其他要是有负债，如果有其他的是把 overall 的那个你的 asset 里面是可以减掉的。比如说你有这么多资产，事实上你有很多 loan 的，像房子出租房那肯定是你的 loan 要只算你的 equity 的 ，OK。然后对， 应该是可以。就是说这个呢，学校呢就是说不像那个报税这么严格，实际上学校是很想帮助每个学生录取的学生，特别是录取的学生拿到最多的 financial aid。然后你还可以 appeal， 如果他给你少的话就 appeal。我大女儿的时候，我当时 appeal 一下，还多拿了7000块钱一年。你可以 appeal 的，因为你各种各样的，还有很多人情况变化，有的人工作今年后来申请的时候还有工作，后来小孩子上大学的时候可能就没有工作，或者换了工作，或者他的生意 business 可能没有这么好了，或者有的人身体不好了，很多人或者他原来的股票亏了，那么很多东西都可以 appeal 的。这个很多家长，像中国家长就是说相当于我们学校给你这个 offer， 相当于一个叫 list price， 在车行买车的 list price， 但是你都要negotiate。大部分家长他不会去negotiate的，这就是有的时候你找一些 professional help 的话，那我也可以跟你讲一下，小霞现在so far 我们给大家帮助，Fafsa还是自己填，他只是给你过一下看一下，给一些建议，他都是现在给1个小时之内都是给 free consultation。OK， 如果你要写 negotiate， 要写些 letter， 他一般都是给 free consultation。然后 Fafsa 你需要他帮助你填，但是还是你自己填，因为但是他就给你做 review， 然后给你哪些地方需要改变，哪些希望可以在 planning 可以allocate 重新 allocate， 但这些都是 free consultation。
对，这个我同意 ，I agree with Dr. Shi again。我的有学生他们拿到 NYU 的 ticket 是70K，然后你可以去跟他 negotiate。如果你真想进的话，他们会 back and forth 会减下来的。
对。因为学校是非常想你录取的人能够进来，因为他们更 care 这个 yield， 对他们的排名很重要，特别是很好的学校，因为你这个 financial aid 不去的话，他们也很可惜。实际上不是他们没钱，他只是要 make sure 很 fair 的给学生，但是你真的有一些理由的话，你是可以跟他 negotiate 的。
That's right，
可以好几千块。我有一个客人，我们帮他 negotiate 的，因为他们是新移民，当时填了很多资产，但是很多钱实际上现在没有这么多 value 了，他们收入没有这么高了。到了美国来以后，也是到 NYU， 然后多拿了1年3万块。第1年是没拿到，后来第2年 negotiate， 我们后来帮他写信，还写到那个 board member 那边，希望他们能够帮助他。他们真的是说，因为到美国以后就没收入了嘛，以前在国内是高管，收入很高，那后来就多拿1年3万块。
Yeah. OK， 请 another question。
我还有一个问题，我也是新移民，然后就是资产呢不在美国，但是我报税的时候申报了资产，那么我在填报的时候，我要不要去？
应该要填的。理论上讲，你已经在申报的资产，它是有记录在那边的。OK，但是呢，就是说有的时候就是说看，因为资产影响还不是很大，实际上收入最大。因为新移民有个好处，他的收入在美国实际上并不多，如果并不多的话。那就是很好的。那我是建议你，要是有空的话，你反正可以跟小霞问一下，然后
好，
好，
那个小夏老师，我已经加你微信，那我就不占用大家时间了哈，谢谢。
OK，very good。OK，any other question？ 还有什么其他问题 ？Any other questions？
我没有其他了。
OK， 好的，行，今天也晚了，因为in East Coast, like Jay, it's already 10 p.m. And some of you, Qing, I know you're in East Coast as well. So anyway, well, I think we'll just wrap it up. And 谢谢大家, thank you guys. Yeah. Okay. I don't think there's any questions now. So yeah, we're about 30 minutes over the planned time. So anyway, well, thank you all the speakers, Shasha, Dr. Shi and Jay, and one boy already left. I think he has a little kid to take care of. So their contact information is all on the chat. I will stay here for a couple of minutes. Just you guys look at the chat and can save it, and you can contact them directly. And for any college counseling needs, school needs, you can feel free to check out Hattie. Okay? Yeah. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Dan, for the invitation. Yeah, it's an honor.
Yeah. Okay. Have a great night. Thank you again.
Nice to meet all the everyone. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.